Have you ever had a disagreement with a loved one that was never resolved and resulted in a permanent and reoccurring problem? Hi, my name is Ethan Clark, and I am researching arguments in romantic relationships that occur repetitively and cause conflict between partners. According to Trappenhoff, a serial argument arises when an individual confronts his or her partner over an issue and it is met with resistance. Resistance to a partner's idea or standpoint will result in later disputes that will cause a strain on the relationship, demand and withdraw patterns from their partner, and ultimately could result in the abandonment of the relationship as a whole. A serial argument occurs when partners have a dispute which ends up not being resolved and becomes a reoccurring problem. This causes a strain on the relationship, which is known as recurring patterns. These patterns portray a wrong sense of dysfunction in a relationship that makes partners believe that they no longer can maintain a healthy relationship. After an argument, it is critical to the relationship on how each partner reacts and deals with the situation to result in the best possible outcome. If the conflict seems too irresolvable, then the relationship will be on thin ice. According to Malleys and Roloff, conflicts perceived to be resolvable were associated with less stress than those that were perceived to be less resolvable. So in theory, if a dispute is less serious, then it will have a lower chance of causing permanent damage to a relationship, which leads us to the demand withdraw pattern. The demand withdraw pattern is when one partner demands change from the other in some form of another, and it is met with resistance from the partner who wants to withdraw from the conflict and avoid it entirely. Research that has been done by Malleys and Roloff states that individuals who resist their partner's demand for change were more likely to experience more detrimental effects on the relationship. The factors of how people react to their situations depends on their cultural patterns, expectations, and gender. Women tend to play the more demanding role, and men take up the withdrawing role. This is because women are more expressive and fear abandonment, while men are more independent and fear to be deeper into a relationship. Problems could worsen with time and become repetitive because the more withdraw within a relationship, the more the demand increases. If partners continue the same patterns, then the relationship is at risk. But if one partner decides to give in and change to what the other wants, then the relationship is saved. But ultimately, if the relationship fails to succumb to change, then these problems become reoccurring, and that could possibly result in a split. So these reoccurring patterns take a toll on how much stress a relationship can handle, and if it isn't dealt with correctly, one partner or another will call it quits and end it. This can be easily avoided through communication skills and understanding of the other partner. If one partner can be flexible and not resist change, then the relationship can work. If the situation remains the same, serious stress will be inflicted on the relationship and cause problems down the road if you are not aware of them. In conclusion, resistance to a partner's idea or standpoint will result in later disputes that will cause a strain on the relationship, demand and withdraw patterns from their partner, and ultimately could result in the abandonment of the relationship as a whole. This results in the demand withdraw pattern, where one partner demands something while the other abstains from the issue. If not resolved, the pattern repeats, causing tension in the relationship and puts greater risk for a breakup. To avoid this problem, you have to increase your communication skills with your partner and evade this situation entirely.